myself. Didn't want to change all them, so okay, I might have done a slight little cam block maneuver coming out of there, but not to worry. And the answer is no, I have not stopped smiling since I bought this car. What's going on, everybody? It's Barney here, back at it with another video, and welcome back to Proving Autos, where once again you join me with my M240i, my new toy, shall we say. And I think today will be a very good idea to actually go over the reasons why I actually ultimately sold my previous car, which was my Mark 7 Golf R, and bought this car. And to be honest with you, there were quite a number of reasons why. I'm pretty sure you guys will be wondering why, but also not only that, it's actually quite a common thing that I see, not really just on YouTube, but also on quite a lot of the Facebook groups that I follow as well. A lot of people seem to go from like a Mark 7 Golf R to either an M140i or an M240i, and also people have actually gone from the opposite way as well. People have gone from an M140i, an M240i, or maybe even an M2 to the Golf R. So I think hopefully, guys, this will, anyone wondering, anyone sort of in the market for even a Golf R or one of these cars maybe, hopefully it'll help some of you guys sort of hopefully answer some of these questions for you. As stated on my last video, there are actually quite a number of options out there for me, you know, like RS3, A45, A45S, maybe even an A35 for the matter, an M2. And actually, to be honest with you, there are actually quite a number of reasons why I actually chose this car over an M2, and I'll probably actually save that for a later video actually. So I think since it is such a glorious day once again in the UK, this is very most unusual that we get a day like this. So I think in a minute I'm going to jump into the car, we'll go for a little cruise, and I'll explain in more detail why ultimately I sold my Golf R and bought the M240i. Here we are again in my M240i, my happy place, shall we say. Okay, so I suppose, yes, let's get right into it. So let's get into the reasons then. Why did I buy this car? Why did I buy an M240i and ultimately decide at that point I'm going to sell my Golf R, which is of course the car I owned previously? I think as soon as the amount of people who seem to go from a Golf R to, they mainly tend to go to like either an M2 or an M140i. The M240i is a little bit of a, well, I mean, obviously I know I've definitely gone for the less popular car, and reasons I will share in future videos, of course. But yeah, I think the main sort of turning point really was I owned the Golf R for about 3 years. I'd owned the car for I think probably about as long as I thought I'd own it for, and I think I pretty much had decided, I mean, because I've been following sort of like BMW, you know, I've sort of been following it for probably, well, pretty much the amount of time, well, the entire time that I'd actually owned the Golf R, to be honest with you. I was actually, not long after, a few months after I actually bought the Golf R, I was actually looking at an M235i, and I'm actually really glad that I didn't buy it, because I wouldn't really probably have had the opportunity to actually experience the M240i. So ultimately I'm glad I've actually bought this car now, 3 years later, and not back then, if that sort of makes sense. So I sort of worked out that at some point I was going to own one of these cars, maybe, you know, to don't know how, at what point down the line I'll probably own that, you know, probably 2 years, 3 years, you know, a couple of months, you know, and so I'd already decided, you know, a while back that I was probably going to own one of these cars. And why? Oh, wait. We seem to be, I interrupt this broadcast momentarily because we seem to be stuck behind a slow vehicle, which is traditional on a weekend. You know, we get all the tractors, we get all the Sunday drivers out in force slowing us all down. Alright, in the week it's usually me slowing people down, but on the days that I'm actually wanting to get out and actually enjoy the car, we get this. Such is life. Oh, is he turning? Is he turning? Oh, we seem to be... Ah, we're stuck at temporary traffic lights. We have a tractor or something in a slow vehicle of some description, and we also have temporary traffic lights. Man, oh man, why did I pick this route? Okay, so that's the reason why nobody's overtaken, because, well, roadworks. I mean, really, they're just digging that hole. Oh, now somebody's overtaken. Can I also get past here? Yes, I can. Oh, it's going a bit wide. Goodbye, goodbye. Right, okay, what was I saying? I can't remember. I've actually been stuck behind that vehicle for so long, I have completely forgotten what it was I was talking about. But yeah, I think yeah, the main turning point was, yeah, I think, you know, at some point I was going to own one of these cars, and I sort of thought, and I suppose that then takes me to the second point, and that is that now the car before the Golf R, I owned a Seat Leon Coupe K1. Now some of you guys may, this was the car that I owned before, was actually a well-known car. It was a Seat Leon Coupe K1 with Revo stickers all down the side of it now. So as I say, some people might recognise it. If you do, please do drop a comment and let me know, because it would be awesome. And if you are, and if anyone actually has that car, it would actually be awesome to actually know where it is now. But unfortunately, due to financial reasons, I had to sell it. Okay, so that was obviously a front-wheel drive car. That was a hot hatch, and then I moved to the Golf R, which was of course a four-wheel drive car. So I suppose then the obvious thing to do after that was instead of getting another four-wheel drive car, rear-wheel drive, you know, I just thought, well, okay, let's complete the set. I felt like that I needed to experience a little bit of rear-wheel drive. You know, I need a bit of rear-wheel drive in my life, and I think, to be honest with you, I think that is something one of the things I've sort of been missing. Like I said, the Golf R, you could floor it pretty much anywhere, no matter what power it's running. My Golf R was stage 1. It was running about 375 brake horsepower, roughly, and never had it on a rolling road. So I don't actually know exactly how much power it was actually producing. I'm just going by off by the guy who mapped it. Okay, behave, bar. Behave yourself. Okay, didn't want to change up then, so. Okay, I might have done a slight little cam block manoeuvre coming out of there, but not to worry. Yeah, okay, yeah, I need to grow up. Okay, so as I was saying, yeah, oh man, again, I'm getting sidetracked. What the hell is going on? So that just seemed like a perfect opportunity to send it a little bit coming out of there. So yeah, I thought, let's complete the set. Let's go for rear wheel drive. As I said, the demonstrator back there, I needed a little bit in my life. Yes, that's what I was saying. So the Golf R, basically you could floor it any sort of power. As I say, 375 brake horsepower it was running. You know, I mean, you could absolutely spank it from a standstill. you know, and the car felt really safe. You know, you could sort of chuck it into any sort of bend and it was still with it. Like, it wasn't a difficult car to drive fast at all. Whereas this, obviously because this car is the M240i is rear wheel drive, and to be honest with you, I think that's something I was kind of missing with the Golf R, is that you know, with this it just requires that little bit more skill. You know, rear wheel drive, you have to be so careful in the wet. Like, I don't actually use, like, I don't think I've actually used Sport Plus in the wet, only in the dry, and for good reason as well. You know, because even in the dry, the back end on this can be unpredictable at times, and yeah, as I say, it just requires that little bit more skill to drive. And you know, and to be honest with you, that for me feels a much more engaging drive. And I think for quite a while, quite some time after I bought the Golf R, which was, as I say, about 3 years ago, and I was trying to work out for quite some time, I thought, you know what, compared to the Cooper K1, it just didn't, there was something missing. Awesome car. I mean, I'm not dissing the Golf R at all, you know, as I say, that's an awesome car in its own right, and this is an awesome car in its own right. And I think, yeah, and I think, to be honest with you, yeah, it was just something that was just, I think there was just something missing from it. I think one of the main reasons is it's because it was four-wheel drive. I do believe that four-wheel drive, it takes, all right, it's a great all-rounder, you know, you can use it any time of the year. You can use it, you can have fun in the winter, you can have fun in the wet, and also it's a good car for the winter as well. But I think with four-wheel drive, it can ultimately take a little bit of the driving experience away. And I think, like say with the Cooper, yeah, that had the tendency to, if you pushed it too far in the corner, that had the tendency to understeer, because that was about 320 brake horsepower. So again, over 300 brake horsepower. That was stage 2. That was stage 2 Revo tune. That was, and so that had the tendency to understeer. So you had to be pretty careful with that car. It was a little bit of a handful of places. A bit hard to get the power down. Same with this, it can be difficult with this to get the power down occasionally. But yeah, as I say, so you have to be so careful with this car when you come in. You know, you can't just floor it everywhere like you can with the Cooper, with the the Golf R. You know, as I say, you could corner that car, like chuck it into any bend, and it just deals with it. Whereas with this, you do have to, just takes a little bit more skill. I think that is something that that's something that I actually quite like. And yes, all right, I mean, let's get on with the another reason, I suppose, is that the Golf R, the equivalent of, now basically I paid 68 plates, a late 2018 model, with this car. Alright, this doesn't really have any optional extras on it as such, and this car cost me £22,000, okay? I searched last night a Golf R, basically the cheapest Golf R with about the same sort of mileage, same sort of age. That was just over 24 grand, so that, in a way, that kind of makes this actually good value. Okay, you are, I found with the Golf R, you are getting a little bit more, I'd say you're getting a little bit more in terms of equipment, like this. It doesn't even have power fold mirrors. It doesn't, I don't think it even has electric, no, it has electric windows, sorry, it doesn't have the heater element also. So, and one thing I liked about the Golf R as well is the blue strips down the side. That used to light up at night. That used to actually be really nice. You don't really get that as such. Obviously, you get the half analog and digital dials, and of course, not to mention as well, you don't get a full virtual cockpit in this car. Unlike the same sort of age on a Golf R, you know, you get a digital dash. You know, does all these little fancy things. You know, you don't really get that with this. But to me, it's all about the driving. To me. So yes, there we go, guys. That I think concludes sort of my main reasons for selling the Golf R and getting this. And yeah, I think we will wrap the video up there. I know it's been a little bit, I know it's been probably a little bit more brief today compared to my last video. And yes, all right, I will be featuring other content on the channel very soon. I'm just trying to get around to it, and you know, I think with the channel still in the early stages of the rebrand, you know, I think it will take time to sort of pick up. But nonetheless, guys, yes, we will wrap things up there. If you have enjoyed it, please do drop a like, guys. We much appreciated. Also consider subscribing for more stuff like this in the future. And if you do not forget to hit the bell icon, turn on all notifications so don't miss out on a single thing to come. Okay, so until next time, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you look after yourselves, stay safe, and I will see you all on the next video.